Okay, the first thing you want to do is set your Tascam, or if you've got software it's much easier to do it because you'll see the song laid out in front of you. You set the in and out point so you can loop it. Now, if I put the Tascam closer, there's a button here to the right of the click wheel. It's the kind of the top button. It's got I/O on it. And that stands for in and out. And what you do is you get your track playing. Here's a backing track that I'm using. And there's where I want my in point to be. So you pause it and you press in, then you let your track go, and this will give me a kind of counting. This is the section that I actually want to play along to. You can hear there's no bass, no vocal, so I just need to let this run for the 8 bars. Okay, this is the last time through the horn riff. Okay, and I always recommend you let it run half a bar or a bar after. Then you press the out button again, which is, and then what it does, that's your loop set, and it automatically, as you hear, goes back to the start of the loop. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the playback control, which you access via the menu, to -50, and then if I press play now, there you can hear how slow it is. I'm going to play along. First note of the next section. I've just paused it there because I always recommend that you, when you're doing something like this, you're isolating a piece of music or a piece of a bass line that's quite tricky, that you always end up with the start of the next section. So what I'm doing is, because this is played here at the 6th fret, and you've got this open string which allows us to jump back to here, what we're doing as well as learning this is we're teaching our hand that at the end of this section we've got to get down to here for the next part of the bass line, so that when you learn the next part of the bass line, which will start there on B flat, your hand's already in that position. Now once you can play it and you've learnt it and you're playing through, your job is just to play it over and over perfectly. And you just keep playing that over and over, making sure that you're getting it right, that you're memorizing it. Basically, the more times you play it perfectly, the deeper we use that my hand as the top of the brain and then going into deeper levels, the more you go down to deeper levels. Now, if you find even at -50 you're making lots of mistakes, then you need to stop and go back and just run through the notes again and play them out of time. Because if you're making mistakes, it means that you've not taught your fingers the location of the notes enough. But if you find you can do it 15 or 20 times consecutively, without making a mistake, then you can move on to the next tempo level, and we'll go and do that in the next video.